Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony. 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony at Sebring High School. I am Vivian Rhodes, the Press Secretary of the Young Americans for Freedom chapter. If you would please stand for the presentation of the colors by Sebring Air Force Junior ROTC and the singing of the national anthem by our Community Service Secretary, Alexis Yancey, and remain standing for the posting of the colors.
Good and gracious God, today we come before you with heavy hearts as we remember the events of 9/11. For some of us today, it's a mixed bag of emotions. We hurt deeply for those who lost their lives and those who lost their loved ones. We mourn the nearly 3,000 who died that day. We are humbled by the bravery of the first responders. We continue to grieve with our neighbors in the loss of our national innocence, our false sense of constant safety. As we think of the way New York and DC responded, as churches, synagogues, and temples opened the doors to all people, as strangers carried each other out of buildings, as those who shared with those who had lost, as we remember the bravery of the passengers and the crew of the United Airlines Flight 93, our pride wells up in us. Yet we struggle today, not wanting to get caught up in the macabre celebration, this sometimes too prideful remembrance of loss. We still remember how the world responded, supporting us and even declaring us one people. Today we are all Americans, the headlines read, and we remember the immediate call to war and the more than 100,000 deaths from it. God of all people, teach us to be patriotic, but humbly so. Teach us to see the frailty, beauty, and the value of life in the light of this tragedy, rather than using it to elevate trivial difference to the heights of divisive reasons for hatred. Remind us of the response of the American people and not the response of the government and its war machine. Remember us of the way the true heart of this nation's people was revealed, in open doors, open arms, and open hearts. May we never forget that on that day, we did not focus on nationality, wealth, education, sex, or sexuality. We focused on need, on humanity, and on love. Call us back to that place in our hearts, instill in us the deepest sense of call, to be that people once again. We lift up to you all those who, even today, 18 years later, suffer from the loss. From New York City to Iraq, the tragedy has deeply and profoundly affected millions. May we continue to heal and help each other, just as we did that day. Amen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please pause for a moment of silence.
As you all have seen, there has been a flag memorial constructed in the courtyard. The number of flags that we have put out this morning was 2,977. Each flag represents a person who has lost their life on 9/11. From the World Trade Center to New York, the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., to Shanksville, Pennsylvania, there is a tradition that was started in 2003 by the Young Americans Foundation for Honor. The lives of Americans lost that day. In the middle of the courtyard, we have constructed a memorial to remember the lives lost in the city of New York. The World Trade Centers would like to give a special thanks to Tyler Ross and Mr. Saboto for helping build these two towers for this memorial. Now please welcome our Vice President, Jeremy Soto.
This project was made possible because of the support of our school administration and our donors from our 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony who provided flags for the first project. I would personally, on behalf of the Young Americans for Freedom, like to thank Mrs. Irvin and the school staff for their support, and especially to our flag donors, County Commissioner Don Elbow on behalf of the Allen J. Automotive Network, County Commissioner Arlene Tuck, Dr. Julio Gonzalez, Jan Grove, Penny Kozerik, Tina Altic, Jan Parsnat, Melissa McCrary, John Nelson, and the Highlands County Tea Party. Thank you so much for your donation of the flags and to those who helped to set up the memorial. Thank you. This project wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for your kind donations. Now it's my privilege to welcome our very own Sebring High School show choir to sing Amazing Grace to honor the lives we lost on 9/11.